Good morning, students. Well, this is Santosh Yadav. Welcome to you in the next video of moral science. And today I will explain you chapter number 8 in moral science, which will be published on 30th of July. Okay. So see, this is moral science. Chapter number 8, and this is the last chapter of your half-yearly course, that is hanging in shame. Hanging in shame. See, students, I am explaining you the chapters daily, and I hope you just practice these moral values in your day-to-day life. Okay, students, as you know that maybe in September or last in the August, the school are supposed to be open. Okay. And when the school will be open, your half-yearly examination will be started. Okay, so you guys are supposed to go through these chapters, these videos, and your written work at home. Okay, students. Then I start this chapter. This chapter name is hanging in shame. It means when we do something wrong and it is shown to us that we were wrong on our part, then what the reaction of yours? That is hanging in shame. Your head should be hanged in shame. Okay, so let's start this chapter. This is the story of a shepherd. Shepherd, a guy or a person who herd the sheep. Okay, so he lived in a village in Iran. He lived in a cave because he didn't have a permanent shelter, so he used to live in a cave. He was very poor. And that is why he used to live in a cave in Iran. He was illiterate. You know, guys, the meaning of illiterate. Illiterate means unable to read and write. Angutha chap, unpad. Okay, so that the hero of our story, that shepherd, is illiterate and had never been to school. He did not see the face of school. He never get the chance to be in the school. But he was a wise man. You know, some people who never go to school, they became wise. They became wise by their IQ power, by using their wit and wisdom. So he was a wise man. People thought that he was a wise man. He had sympathy in his heart. Sympathy in his heart for the helpless and poor people, and he gave courage to the needy person, a person who wants something from us to fulfill his or her need. So he gave nothing but courage to the needy people to face the difficulties, the problems, or the hardship of the life. Okay, that was our hero. Hero is not only a good face, wearing good clothes. Hero is a person who does something great in his or her life. Okay, he heard people's problems. He used to create a courtroom scene and used to heard the problems of people and gave them good pieces of advice. He advised them how they can get out from their problems and their difficulties. Okay, students, so he act like a king, When he give advice to the people, he act like a king. For his qualities of understanding and compassion, for such qualities, understanding people, understanding their problems, and their compassion, compassion, kindness, their kindness, he became much talked about. Much talked about a person who became great by his good deeds and by his good behavior towards the people. So people used to talk about this shepherd in Iran. So he became a much talked about person in that town or in that country or in that city where he used to live. So now students, the word reached the king. These appreciations, these praiseworthy things when reached to the king of that country, and he thought of meeting him. He decided to meet that good person. He decided to meet that good people. So one day he used to disguise, he used to change his appearance, he used to change his clothes, and in fact, I want to say that he disguised in a shepherd way and riding a mule, using a mule, mule, the younger one of horse. So he used a mule, and riding that mule, he reached the cave. He reached the cave where the wise shepherd, that intelligent shepherd, used to live. The shepherd saw the traveler coming towards the cave. He saw that many people, many travelers go inside the cave and came out from that cave and rose to welcome him. And when he entered, the shepherd saw the traveler coming towards the cave. When the wise shepherd, the wise man who was sitting in the cave, he saw that a traveler coming towards the cave, and he rose from his place to welcome that shepherd, the traveler. Okay, the shepherd received his guest with open arms and showed him into his cave. He received that king in disguise with wholeheartedly, and showed him the whole cave. He offered him water to drink and shared his meal with him. He offered his meal also to that particular person who used to visit to that wise shepherd. They talked about all things. They talked about the matters. They talked about the things, the problems which crossed their mind. The king was much impressed with the shepherd wisdom and intelligence and hospitality. Hospitality is the way to greet the visitor or the guest. The next day, the king expressed his desire. The king wished to take leave from that shepherd. Okay, the king said to the shepherd, he told the shepherd, many thanks for your kindness. He thanked the shepherd many times for he showed sympathy, for he showed kindness to a poor traveler, and he offered him his or her food. And then he said, I have a long way to go, so I need your permission to leave. The shepherd then replied, Your Majesty, for gracing my cave with your presence. Thank you. The shepherd also thanked that traveler. The traveler was surprised that why he is thanking to me. Then the wise shepherd replied that he recognized him. And he was the king of that country. So he thanked the traveler for his presence in his cave. The king was wonderstruck. He was, surprised. He was surprised as well as pleased that how this wise shepherd recognized him. He said, he is indeed very wise. How else could anyone recognize him in that disguise? So the king said to himself, I need people like him. I need people like him who are intelligent. I need people like him who are, shows extraordinary abilities. The king lost no time in appointing the humble shepherd as the governor of his small district. He appointed that wise shepherd as a governor of a small district. Even after becoming the governor, even after becoming the governor, the shepherd maintained his wisdom, he maintained his sympathy, he maintained his goodness. His name got recognition. Recognition means his name became popular, became famed as a fair and honest governor. So the people like him as an honest governor. But the governor of the other district did not like this. लेकिन जो और members थे उस society के, उस country के, they did not like the way he used to talk, the way he used to make justice, the way he used to take care of his subject. So they became jealous of that wise shepherd, and they left no stone unturned to turn the king against him. They tried to backbiting the wise shepherds. Against wise shepherds, they tried to they give ears to their things. They try to make the king against the shepherd, but they told lies about him by saying he keeps a part of the tax collected with him. Okay, he did not submit the complete tax in the treasury of the country, treasury of the kingdom. So I think he used to save the taxes from him. Why else would he always carry an iron chest with him? He kept all the saved taxes in their chest, which he always carry with him. So, and if you repeat, and this is the things I know, they said perhaps he carries the ill-gotten treasure. They said to the king, they told the king that he carried the ill-gotten treasure. Ill-gotten means the money collected by dishonest means or evil manner. So, and student, it is the saying that if you repeat a lie 100 times, if you lie 100 times, people start believing on it. So the king was no exception. He had no choice to believe such things. So when the king saw the shepherds always with the iron chest, he called him in his court. He too became suspicious. He became full of suspicion. So one day the king asked the shepherd governor to his palace in his court. So when the shepherd arrived, to the delight of all his complainants, the famous iron chest was securely fastened behind him on the camel's back. People saw that the iron chest was also with him. The king had already seen that the chest was securely fastened to the back of the camel. So the king became furious. He became angry and said, "Why do you always carry that iron chest with you?" He asked to the shepherd that why he carried the iron chest with him always. What does it contain? What kind of things he contained in that iron chest? Iron chest, a box made of iron to keep the belongings, to keep the things. The shepherd smiled to hear this. The shepherd smiled to hear this. That he asked his servant to unfasten the iron chest and bring the same before the king. His complainants with eagle eye, with curious eyes, with full of curiosity, were eagerly awaiting for the shepherd to be exposed. They were thinking that the shepherd will be exposed very soon. So they became very happy. To their utter surprise and dismay, when the iron chest was opened, they were shocked when the iron chest was opened. No gold or silver or jewels were discovered, but an old blanket was all that was in it. An old blanket. When he was poor, he used to use that blanket that was in the iron chest. Instead of the gold, the coins or silver or jewels. Okay, so all the governors were very surprised, were shocked when the shepherd proudly showed this blanket to all and say that this my dear master, my lord, my majesty is my only treasure. This old blanket is my only treasure and I always carry it with me. When the king asked him, the king was very surprised and he felt very he felt ashamed and said why he carried an ordinary blanket even though he was the governor of a district. Why he used to carry such cheap things with him? Then the shepherd gave a royal answer. The answer is that blanket of his was his old friend, and it will still protect him. It will still protect him, and if at any time, if the king should wish to take away his new cloak and heads hung in shame. If the king wished to get back this job, get back this new cloak from me, then this old blanket will always help me to protect me from cold, to protect me from cold and summer and in winter. Okay, so all heads, including the king or the governors, hung in shame, and the king understood his foolishness in listening to his jealous courtiers. The king became very shameful to think that he should not trust his jealous courtiers, and the boy, the wise shepherd, were doing his work very well, but the courtiers were full of jealous with him. That is why they complained against him. So the students, the moral of the story is we should do our act, we should do our duties, we should perform our duties with honesty. We should not be biased, we should not be jealous, we should not be dishonest. Okay, let the people say what they are saying. We should trust on us, we should faith on us, and we should do, again I will say that we should do our duties full of honesty. Okay, what the result will be, we should not care about it. In Gita it is also said that Lord Krishna once said, okay, do your duties, apna karm karo. Never think about the result. Phal ki ichha mat karo. So we should follow that thing which is in our religion, which our ancestor used to say to us. Okay, so this is the story, and how's the story? You just tell me through the comment. Okay, and one more thing, I have some task to you to perform, and the task is, on activity corner of this chapter, there are some activities which you are supposed to perform. There are, in B part, you have to say that which words for whom. There are, 6 words in the bracket in the box, and you are, 2 columns were there, one for king and one for shepherd. And you are supposed to write the qualities, the adjectives which you think are used for which person. For example, king, you should say rich. For example, shepherd, you should say illiterate, poor, and wise. And the king, ferocious, the king, rich, the king, sympathetic. Okay? So these things, this activity will be done in the book by you. And the next thing, C part, there is think and discuss. In think and discuss, there are some tasks that you have to think and discuss with your family members and with your, friends also. Suppose you have 2 chapatis with you and a poor hungry person asks you for food from you, then what would you do? What kind of act you are supposed to do? It is your part. आप स्वयं विचार कीजिए ना. You are made the governor of your state. The next thing is, you are made the governor of your state, and what will your priorities be? To collect your treasure or to help the needy people? Okay, think yourself. Imagine that you have been made the principal of your school and give your comments and a set of instruction about the changes you wish to make in the school. Students, if you want to write this exercise in writing in your rough notebook, you may write it in your rough notebook. And when the school will reopen, show this activity to your subject teacher, which will be assigned in your section to teach you moral science. Then you may, show this work to your teacher. Okay, students? So these are 3 things which you are supposed to think and discuss. And one activity is there, he asked your parents to bring you the book of Panchatantra. You know Panchatantra? It is the story book which is written by, Acharya Vishnu Datta Sharma, and through Panchatantra, he teaches us some moral values. So read a story a day from it and write the stories in your own words. When you read the story by yourself, you are supposed to write a summary of that story in your rough notebook by yourself to make it practice. Okay, and you also are supposed to read the life story of Lord Buddha. Okay, how he left his palace to the well-wishing for the public. Okay, so now I will write some dictation words on the board, and you are supposed to copy from there. Okay. First word is hanging, and the meaning of hanging is dangling. Second word is illiterate, which means unable to read and write. To read and write. Unable to read and write. Third one is sympathy. Sympathy, which means feeling of pity and sorrow. Feeling of pity and sorrow. Fourth one, hardships. hardships, that is problems. Fifth one, compassion. Compassion means pity and concern. Pity and concern for the sufferings. For the sufferings. Number six, disguised. Disguised, which means to give a different appearance. To give a different appearance. To give a different appearance. Okay. Number six, sorry, seven. Recognize. Recognize. Recognize means identify. Identify. Write these words, students. Okay. And after this, I'm going to erase some words. Number eight, recognition. Recognition. The meaning of this, fame or popularity. Ill fortune. Benefits obtained. Benefits obtained in an evil manner. In an evil manner. Number 10, exception. Exception. A thing. A thing that is excluded. That is excluded from a general statement. A general statement. Number 11, complainants. Complainants. Plaintiff. Plaintiff in certain lawsuits. In certain lawsuits. Number 12, unfasten. Unfasten untied, untied. 13. Clock, C-L-O-A-K, clock. A sleeveless, sleeveless, a sleeveless outdoor overgarment, outdoor overgarment that hangs loosely, that hangs loosely from the shoulders, from the shoulders. Okay, and the last one, the last student, number 14, jealous, feeling or showing, feeling or showing an envious or an envious, resentment, of someone, of someone. Okay, so these are few words and their meanings. Okay, students. So you are supposed to write these words and their meanings in your fair notebook. Till then, stay home, stay safe.